Hey everyone, it's Greg from Stationery Shenanigans. I hope you're all doing well. I was recently watching a video by Paris, and her channel is Frenchie in Focus, where she unboxed an Esterbrook fountain pen that she was really excited for, and it's a great video. You should watch it. I'll link it below. But that got me thinking about how long it's been that I've actually been engaging with my fountain pens. It's been a few weeks. Life has been very busy, and I think every time I went to grab a fountain pen to do some of my work, it would either be out of ink or I would need to clean it, and I would just put it to the side and not bother because it was just too much. So I took some time today to organize my fountain pens and take stock of what I need. Like there's certain cartridges I need to continue to be able to use my sailor pen and things like that. So it was a good activity in the sense that sometimes you forget what you have and you need to really figure it out before you can go ahead and grab it to use it, obviously. So that was my long way of saying that I really just needed to take some time to play with my fountain pens and stationery today, and I'm glad that I had that opportunity. Interesting enough, after I watched Paris's video, I looked up Esterbrook. I've never used an Esterbrook before. I've heard about it. I've seen all your videos. When I was at the Paper Seahorse in Florida, I believe they are one of the Esterbrook authorized retailers, and I might have touched some of the pens when I was visiting in store. Don't remember if I wrote with any of them, but they're just kind of like classic looking to me, and I just thought they were great. So I was looking through my fountain pens, and I seem to have found an old Esterbrook, and I have no idea where this came from, and I'll talk about it in a second where I think it could have come from. But I'm calling out to the fountain pen people of YouTube for your assistance with this because I would like to know more about it, and you all are experts, so I figured let's see what we can find out. So this is actually, I don't know if you can see it, focus, not going to focus. This is an Esterbrook black fountain pen. I honestly think I either got it as a gift like back in high school, so like 20 years ago, or perhaps this was something that like my grandfather had and like gave to me. So I've never used it. Honestly, I don't remember seeing this before. So I think it's just funny that I happened to be watching Paris's video about Esterbrook's, Googling Esterbrook just for fun, and then a couple days later suddenly realizing I had an Esterbrook already. I have no idea about this at all, so I'll appreciate your help in the comments below. But besides its origins, I just want to talk about how I would like to use this and get your feedback. So I think the pen needs to be cleaned on the outside. As you can see, the metal is kind of dirty looking and the body has some schmutz on it. I'm not sure if it's like adhesive or something, or it came this way, but it's basically been in a box for maybe 20 years. And when I say box, I mean it's been thrown in with other pens. It wasn't in its like own sleeve or anything like that. It's very classic looking. It's very light. So when you open it up, it is a screw cap. And as you can see, the nib is very dirty. So I need to work on cleaning up that. And I noticed there's like black ink, so I was wondering, I was like, oh, maybe this I used in high school with like carbon ink by accident in art class or something. I really don't know. So we're just treating this as a new mystery. And I tried to view the nib. It says Esterbrook, okay, either 55 or 1551. It's really hard to see. And then it says made in, and I can't tell which country it is because the nib goes underneath that, the ridge on here, so I'm not sure. It does have a ridge here for the screw cap, so no idea even what size this is, honestly. And then you can't unscrew it. So it is a, I guess this is a vacuum filler. I'm not sure what you would call this, but it looks like you lift up the metal clip and then you would put it in the ink bottle, and maybe that's how it sucks up the ink. I'm not sure. So if you know anything about this, please let me know in the comments below. I would greatly appreciate it because I really like this and it's very classic looking, and I feel like if I could revitalize it, I would start using it. Also, if you have any tips on what kind of ink should or should not go into this, that would be helpful. It's just really hard to not see like the body of the pen, right? Like I can't unscrew this. I can't, with a converter you can at least see what's inside, how much you have left, but this is truly a free-for-all, so I'm not even sure how much ink it would hold. I wouldn't know when the ink's gonna run out, all that stuff. So I'm liking this idea of just revitalizing this mystery and kind of bringing it back to life. So that is my Esterbrook pen. My next fountain pen help request is I have this Midori fountain pen which I purchased from Tokyo Pen Shop ages ago, and I love it, and I can't use it with, well, I could use it, but the cap won't go on. And I've shared this story probably in my live streams of what happened. I was cleaning this pen over the sink, and when I went to unscrew this part, there used to be a little metal washer or ring, whatever you call it there. And I went like this over my sink, which mistake number one, never do this, people, because I learned the hard way. It flew out and went into my garbage disposal, and for the life of me, there was no way I would be able to find it, even with the flashlight. So that metal piece is gone. So as you can see, the clip can't stay on. So I'm not sure, maybe next time I'm at a hardware store, I can see if I can buy and measure a little thin, because you can see how thin it is, metal washer type thing to try on there. I also thought about, what if I just took a piece of, well, this would be totally messy, but if I took a piece of string and like hot glued it there so it had, I don't know, that's just me talking. So if anyone has any idea how I could make this pen work again. This pen's valued, I think, at like $38 or $40, so I probably could buy a new one online somewhere, but I was just reaching out to y'all first. So those are my two fountain pen questions, and I just wanted to share a little bit more about what I'm going to use moving forward. I think I'm going to make a separate video about choice overload. One of my issues with fountain pens is that I feel like I never have the right cartridge with me. I don't have it cleaned, it's clogged, so I want to start using it, and then I go to use it and realize I can't use it in that moment, so then I have to clean it, and it just becomes like a hassle. So I decided to reduce that choice overload. I was just going to pick a few pens to use basically for the month of December, and certain inks to only use. So this is my Hobonichi, I forget what it's called, I always forget what this is called. It's a Hobonichi drawer pouch thing. And I picked a few pens that I like, and I'm just going to start using. And only these. So of course I have other fountain pens, but I decided let's just pick a few and pick a few inks and stick with them. That way it's all in this box. I know what needs to be cleaned at any given time. I know what needs ink at any given time, etc. So first up we have the TWSBI Eco in the saffron, and this is filled with the TWSBI Emerald Green ink, which I love. It is just beautiful, especially if you use cream colored or yellow colored paper, which I usually do. So it just totally works. This is my Delta journal. Like I've said before, probably in previous videos or live, this is my first big fountain pen purchase. This is made in Italy. It has like the serial number on it. I think they're discontinued, I'm not sure. The clip even has a ball, and it takes standard international cartridges. It is big. Like, look at that nib. It is in a medium. I have big hands, so for me, if this feels big, if you have small hands, it feels really big. It just really feels, I don't know, just, what's a better word than just big? Just powerful. And I used to use this with the Pilot Blue, I think it's the Namiki ink. It's just a plain blue, and when I moved internationally, I had to reduce stuff, obviously, when I moved, especially things that are liquids and all that for customs reasons. So I know I threw the bottle out when I moved, and I should have just bought a new bottle since then because it was like a match made in heaven. Anyway, this is the Delta Journal. Right now I just have a black International Standard cartridge in it, and I want to start using that. And to kind of keep on the theme of this is what I'm using for December, I wanted to choose colors that reflected kind of the season, so these are red and green. And for some reason for January, I always associate the color blue with the month of January, which is why I thought this would be good for the mix. This is the Pilot, I think it's the Explorer. This is an inexpensive plastic fountain pen. It writes really smoothly, and this is one that I feel like I can use and not feel, nervous about, especially when it comes to cleaning it. And this is the Platinum Prefunte, in this like translucent bluish green. I guess it's just green. This also writes great. What I love about the Platinum is that you cannot use this for a long time and the ink won't dry up. I've had this cartridge in here for months and it still writes great. So I got that. And then the inks I'm going to be using, like I mentioned, the TWSBI Emerald Green, also good for, the holiday season. Then I picked 3 pilot cartridges to go with the Explorer, brown, blue, and black. So when this pen needs ink, this is all I'm going for. So I'm out and I'm journaling or whatever, I'm traveling for the holidays, and my pilot runs out, I'm switching to one of these 3. I'm not going into my stash and figuring out what I could use, find a converter, all that stuff. We're just sticking with a few things. This is to reduce that choice overload. Then I have 1 Platinum cartridge left. This is a blue-black. I'm severely lacking in Platinum cartridges, so I figure we'll use this up and then look at ordering some more or getting a converter. And this is International Standard. I have a converter in here. One is the J.R. Bean tea colored one, and one is just black, what I bought probably last time I was in Poland. And this would go with the Delta Journal. So that is my plan. Let me know how you manage cleaning your fountain pens and kind of being able to use them regularly, because I really want to improve in that area. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time. Take care.